This is Derek the Bard coming to you from КонБраво 2012 with another interview, this time with the Maven of the Eventide.
Hello.
Hi, aka Elisa. So, Elisa, is this your first time up here in Canada?
It's my second time in Canada. About 2.5 years ago, Lindsay and I did a road trip across America from LA to New York, and we stopped in Niagara Falls, so I got to see the falls, but that was it, which isn't real Canada, I've heard,
Yeah.
So this is my first time in real Canada.
It's Borderlands, Canada.
Yes.
Yeah, well. So how are you enjoying yourself?
I'm having a great time. This place is great.
Good, good. So, obviously you review things involving vampires, from wine to perfume to movies. Why vampires? What is the appeal of the vampire to you?
Well, I've always loved vampires, but moreover, I've always loved things that were macabre or Victorian Gothic. And a lot of vampires aren't Victorian Gothic,
No.
but there's there's a crossover there. But Lindsay with the Nostalgia Chick show, when we talk about what should we do next, what movie we're going to review next, let's take some notes on some movies, I kept saying, well, let's do Buffy the Vampire Slayer, that's nostalgic. Let's do Interview with the Vampire, that's nostalgic. Let's do Blade, that's nostalgic, and it has a strong female character. And she was always like, no, we'll get around to them. And then one day she was just like, why don't you do them? They're all vampire movies. And I actually had this idea for a book review show that I was going to do. Books versus movies based off of books.
Yep.
And I was taking notes and planning for it. And the books that I had planned and had a bunch of notes on were Interview with the Vampire, Twilight, Queen of the Damned, Dracula. And I started sensing a theme, and I was like, why don't I just do a show on vampires? Clearly that's where my heart is.
Seems to be a lot of blood-sucking going on in my review topics. Alright, so, favorite vampire movie then?
Interview with the Vampire, just because it was one of the first I saw that was actually good. And so many of them are wonderfully awful, but I love the Vampire Chronicles, and I think it's a very well-done adaptation of the Vampire Chronicles.
What do you think of this sort of vampire craze that's been going through pop culture in the last decade or so?
I try to look on the bright side for most things, but for this I just try to think that, this is bringing awareness to the fact that vampires are interesting. And, vampires have been popular for a really long time, but now they're even more popular. So all the artists, all the storytellers, all the creators out there who may have something really good that's not another Twilight might say, hey, maybe now's the chance for my story to, see the light of night. And then we can, actually get some more good vampire stuff. So you're gonna get a lot more that's not good, because there's a lot of crap coming out right now.
Oh, yes, there is.
But, you'll get the good with the bad. So more of anything, you can pick out the diamonds in the rough. And,
Okay. You reading any good vampire books right now, then?
I just finished Christopher Moore's Blood-Sucking Fiends trilogy, and I like them. They're pretty good. I thought they got better as they went. I know there were year gaps between them. But I haven't read a really good vampire book since I read Let the Right One In.
Okay.
Have you read that one?
No, I haven't. I've seen the American adaptation.
Oh, what's wrong with you? Fix it.
Fine, fine, I'll fix it. Okay.
Read the book, then watch the Swedish movie, and then watch the American movie again.
I have heard incredibly good things about the Swedish movie.
Well, see, after you see the American movie, the Swedish movie won't seem that great, because the American movie is kind of a shot-for-shot remake with a few things added in. There's a little creativity there, but not much, which is why I don't like the American movie, because I felt kind of like someone just was like, I'm just going to remake the Swedish movie, instead of going back to the book, doing maybe things that were in the book that weren't in the Swedish movie, maybe a different take on the story, but no, they did everything that was good about the Swedish movie over again. So the American movie isn't bad because it did a good thing again, but it's bad on principle.
Not necessarily as fond of the shot-for-shot American remakes of foreign films.
I mean, who is?
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, well then, I suppose, same question I've asked everyone else. Do you have any advice to people looking to break into it?
Yes. Have something to say. Have a reason to be doing it. Have something that you want to communicate. Have points to make. The reason why I sort of wound up doing vampire things, when even though I was a vampire fan before, I wasn't a big one. I was a big Phantom of the Opera fan, which isn't the same. But I had so much to say about vampires. and points I thought were interesting that I wanted to share with people, ways of looking at things that I didn't see other people expressing before. I mean, the last thing we need on the internet is more copycat reviewers that are doing the same thing other people are doing. So if you have something unique and interesting and salient to say that you aren't hearing anyone else saying, be the one to say it and, make it fun.
All right, well, thank you very much, Elisa.
Thank you.
That's Elisa, aka the Maven of the Eventide from Shay Apocalypse and thatguywiththeglasses.com, and I'm Derek the Bard from blip.tv/chasingthemuse. Be seeing you.